everyone, this is KRISH for Criteriyeah, and today we're gonna talk about the iPhone 10. Let's get started. So the much anticipated iPhone has finally arrived, and so be it. I know I'm a bit late with this part of my review, but I just thought, let me do my bit. I personally was there on the launch day here in the Garden City, Bengaluru, India, and fortunately enough, I did find the device in hand. Well, as many of you would have gone through reviews from the major geeks out there, I would like to make this part of my review quite simple by categorizing the iPhone 10 into different parts in turn with its most highlighted features. The iPhone 10 is an all-glass and metal body, and it's the first of its kind from Apple. At the front, you get a 5.8-inch Super Retina OLED display at 458 ppi. Up at the notch, you get a 7-megapixel front-facing camera with IR sensors, speakers, etc. At the back, you get a 12-megapixel dual camera which does support optical image stabilization. On the left, you get the traditional mute switch and the volume rockers. Further, on the right, you get the large power button with the SIM tray just below. And finally, down at the bottom, you will find the speaker grill and the lightning cable port. Cheers to the all-glass design, the iPhone 10 now supports wireless charging. On the inside, the iPhone 10 is powered by Apple's A11 Bionic chip, which is a 6-core processor. The battery on the iPhone 10 is around 2716 mAh, which does seem to fare well when you compare the iPhone 8. It is also an IP67 water resistant. The Face ID on the iPhone 10 is something very new to people out there. After the initial setup, it's more like your other traditional smartphone which does not have a passcode. Just swipe up and you're in. Apple seems to suggest it's something which is more secure than the traditional fingerprint sensor, and to be precise, they say only 1 in a million could or can break this type of security. But I believe there's more Apple has to answer, especially when it comes to the twins using the iPhone 10. Having said all this, the overall idea does seem to work like a charm and does look futuristic. Camera on the iPhone is something Apple has always set some high standards. And on the iPhone 10, it's no different. The introduction of the portrait mode and portrait lighting both on the front and rear camera does seem to come on force. The 7-megapixel front-facing camera at f2.2 aperture, which can also capture 1080p video, and the rear 12-megapixel dual camera with one regular lens and the other telephoto lens at f1.8 and f2.4 aperture does seem to take some excellent pictures. Both the lenses do support optical image stabilization, as I said you before. The rear camera though does capture 4K video now at 60 frames per second and slow-mo video at 240 frames per second with 1080p resolution. Having said all this, odds of many other experts does seem to favor Pixel or the Pixel XL when it comes to cameras on smartphones in the present market. On the iPhone 10, for me at least, this seems to be the best innovation apart from the most hyped display and Face ID. It's quite simple to understand and fun to play with. Thanks to Apple, the Emojis on the iPhone 10 is not exclusive for iPhone users only. Just take a shot with number of Emojis out there and convert them into a video and share it on your social networking platforms. There are few expressions though which the Emojis does not seem to pick up yet. But still, I feel Emojis and augmented reality is the best innovation going further. Well, at the end of it all, you can say that the iPhone X is the best iPhone Apple has ever made. And by this, you can also say that Apple has somewhat raised its bar. The Apple iPhone X is basically available in two variants, the 64 gig and the 256 gig. It's also available in two colors, silver and space gray. And it starts at 89,000 here in India. You heard me right, 89,000, which is almost 25,000 rupees more when you compare the US market. If you have any further questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below. If you like my content, do subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon to get notifications on my latest postings. Until I see you in the next one, take care and thank you very much for watching.